iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting, iDiskiTimes.co.za, Mamelodi Sundowns 2, Kaizer Chiefs 1. First loss ka-coach Unabi, but ke, Lindo Pep, kunjani mfethu?
Mr. Shane, how are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Man, Shane, a very interesting game. We cannot hide away from the fact that the match was obviously FNP, a home game, a Kaizer Chiefs. That also had an influence in the match and the intensity of the match as well. For me, a very good tactical game, more especially from both teams. Credit to the both technical teams. Credit to both players that were on the pitch, both teams. For me, I think they gave us a spectacle.
Yazi, I want you to take us through the game.
Yeah.
Unclear where Sundowns won the game and where Kaizer Chiefs lost the game in Namhlanje, because something had to happen in order for any team to win and for other any lose. But masiqale nge winning team. Sundowns yenze ntoni namhlanje ukuze iphumelele umdlalo namhlanje?
Yeah, Shane, when I spoke yesterday go Omni Audio, I said the game plan ku Mamelodi Sundowns is keep the ball and keep the intensity. In my opinion, in the first half, we wanted to move the ball, but the build-up was too slow. The passing precision was letting us down. We approach a game obviously in 4-3-3 like normally. We've got 2-8s that are very crucial in that system, and that's where it gets us to the assist zone and where we get our goals. Where the 2-8s, Alende plays on the left, where every time Utiwane Makakupugile occupies that space because he's a very technical player. And then Umshishi Namhlanje Dropper on the right, even though I feel that's not his strength. I understand that because now Umela join a boxing and Umshishi, we know he doesn't have the engine to join a boxing. So Umshishi at least made a closer to the box. And then we had two centre backs with two River coming in as a register. For me, I think the two centre backs let us down shape. You understand? I think they played too many sloppy passes, in my opinion, a lot of diagonal balls when they shouldn't have. You understand? More especially in the second half. But in the first half, very good in terms of the control the game, but the passing ya corner be toothless, Shane. I think we were not penetrating enough in the final third. Terrible movement in terms of Abo Reinas in the final third as well. I think in the first 10 minutes also, I think Bebazamu congesta Ribeiro on the right-hand side. I think he didn't have a space because you must also remember, Shane, he helps us build up phase. Yeah. He helps us in the consolidation phase where he drops up in a defense at the back and then at 10 and then it's progressive game. But for me, some impressive performances, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, immediately Abo Alenda Maba dropper on the left, Shane. What are they looking for? They are looking for a deep pass here diagonal, whether between Reinas or whether to Matthews. For me, Kaizer Chiefs' defense was high, a line. And the Maucheka, Shane, when the game started with regards to Kaizer Chiefs, they did not want to press in the build-up phase.
Yeah.
They allowed us to play in the build-up phase, but not only that as well, Shane. That's why Mamelodi Sundowns had a better first half. They didn't also want to engage in the consolidation phase. They allowed us to play. Immediately, Master to Bafagule a triangle of two centre backs, the goalkeeper and no River. Yeah. Immediately, Master to jump at that line. Then they start now engaging in Kaizer Chiefs. And sometimes they were too late because we would play those diagonal balls. I said when the match started, Shane, when one ball went to Reinas at that side and then it became offside, I said, Sizoba punish Alabangala Pola. I understand, Shane. But for me, I'm looking at the game plan in Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm thinking to myself, kept the ball very well. Occupied the spaces as a right, more especially in the first half. Can we be a little bit better in terms of passing precision and how we move the ball and how we attack the last line? Because for me, there were some poor performances, more especially on the side Reinas. For me, even though he scored the goal, but I think the performance was poor in my opinion. I've got very high standards when I Shane, to be honest with you. For me, I think the boy needs to do more. More especially Masim Fiti ball in can you protect the ball as hold the engage. For me, a very good performance again from Matthews. I think the boy is coming all right. Every game is improving, Shane. He's improving single game. Ribeiro, big player. Already a contender for player of the season.
Sure.
Early contender for player of the season for me. Very decisive, scores big goals for Mamelodi Sundowns, but also has the arrogance. I understand that to drive the team and take initiative to say if the team is team, let alento. I take responsibility. I understand that, Shane. Yeah, but for me, the most crucial player of Mamelodi Sundowns was River in the consolidation phase.
Yeah, now let's talk about the Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, as Uchilo, there were moments where they allowed the Sundowns to go deep build from the back. And I could hear about it, but okay, you cannot allow the Sundowns to build from the back because that's where Sundowns would with Ron Williams. But did you think the Kaizer Chiefs did enough? Namhlanje they could maybe send a draw at least from the Namhlanje?
Yeah, as he playing Kaizer Chiefs, very simple. Allow the goalkeeper to have the ball, allow the centre backs to have the ball. But do not allow River to play, do not allow Alenda to play. That's why Bebegum do no Chivavaro as a double number, as a double half 9 or double number 10, kind of, more especially in position of the ball. If you can take that tactical structure without the ball, it's a 4-4-2. Understand? Where they buy a shift and they're more in focus is do not allow the midfielders to play. Allow the centre backs to play. Do they have the quality to allow the proper passes in terms of break lines? That's where the challenge is. Block the direct line, make it narrow. In case the Chiefs is going to check Shane in the first half, they were playing very narrow to each other, playing very close to each other. Do not allow Mamelodi Sundowns to break through the direct line. Allow them the space in the wider channel, but also be very defensive in terms of being very narrow in the assist zone when we get into the assist zone. That's why Obonama crosses way to today. They were not very effective. You understand? Because that's how they defended. Or reinforce la beganga kupugi, or cross beganga kupugi that much, and then now. Castillo, this is the problem now, more especially in midfield. Lack of balance. Who is the one who sits here? Uba and Loshe no toke pega mamela and one. Menang to take responsibility. Hamba menang salen katimali. You understand? For me, that's the player they needed. That's why the introduction of Unjabulo Plum gave them a lot of comfort in the second half, because the introduction at least gave them a comfort. More especially in them trying to stretch Amapola Shane. It was not working. You understand, Shane? They only got 2 chances or 3 chances that you can count from Uchiva Varo, where he absolutely bullied Ulibusa on the first goal. Totally bullied Ulibusa. But if you can check those balls, they were not working. The only time they started really being dangerous, Shane, is when they were starting to have confidence in the consolidation phase. But Plom, combine, and then find a true ball good to Priest behind the defense of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Now, Dufuna said there was late sub, Zongo coach. I wouldn't say early, a bit early in the second half, where Akupe Kona Ribeiro and no Tembazwane. Players, in my opinion, I thought they were very influential and very important for Mamelodi Sundowns. Do you think Kaizer Chiefs, when you took out those 2 powers, the Sundowns, don't you think Kaizer Chiefs should have done more? Who did you see at Benjini coming for Kaizer Chiefs to counter that? Because if Ukupo Ribeiro knows one, obviously there's a bit of energy Pumayo Sundowns. So when I asked the Kaizer Chiefs, who did you see on the bench coming on? Would I get the Kaizer Chiefs maybe get an equalizer?
In the first half, Sundowns was looking for speed, comfort as well. But now, in the second half, Mabakipu Ribeiro, Bakipu Mshishe, Saba introduce Sabo Mkuli, Saba introduce Sabo Opre. I think they wanted to manage the game now. Looking at the Kaizer Chiefs as well, taking out to Ribeiro's killed us. Because Jobang Chela, he doesn't only help us to score goals, but he helps us build up processes as well. Because we can use him with the squads to progress the game. But we look at let us down. For me, you Sapu Reinas, you keep Matthews. Matthews are very dangerous, more especially in a run off the ball, but also is very comfortable on the ball. Decision making. Look at their pass island. Ribeiro, unbelievable finish. I'm looking at the Kaizer Chiefs as well. You do not sub Uchiva. I'm not a fan of Uchiva. I don't like him a box striker. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But the boy has been doing very well for himself. He bullied. And I don't know how many sometimes you don't sub him is trying go at midfield to Castillo Mar no probably was the better because by am taller la pe holy matela progress game pegala pass I shout Chivavaro njongoba akhatha ina funa ukushango left boxing. I'm thinking to myself, you're taking out 2 of your best players. You understand? But for me, the 2 the centre backs that I spoke about during the week, let them down this.
Yes, but if you lose Glenda Chivavaro, because Kaizer Chiefs might have lost the game in Amhlanje, but Kauchonga battles, one-on-one battles, I will say Uchivavaro won that battle against that defense in the Sundowns, those 2 centre backs. He bullied them. He even got a goal, and there was a chance for him to even a second goal, but get decision making from Yena. Something that I feel he needs to work on. But Uchivavaro Namhlanje, that battle between Yena and the centre backs, the Kaizer Chiefs, in my opinion, I think he won that battle.
But I think also the introduction to Priest also gave them a different dimension. I'm thinking to myself, Shane, sacrifice Utuba second half. The boy we understand he's not playing well. Save him, protect him, keep introduce to Priest because he gave them a different dimension. But also, why you be blow me pension? I can control and comfort in midfield. To introduce blow me good progress again the game. But Shane, to be honest with you, personally, I just want to mention Mamelodi Sundowns. We played well. 3 wins out of 3. Credit to the team, credit to the players, credit to Ngoba. But for me, I'm looking at the second half, and I'm worried about the Champions League, Shane. The question is to come. As Mamelodi Sundowns fan, we need to be happy for the win. It's not easy playing FNP. But I'm looking at this overall, Shane, and I'm thinking to myself, will this team win the Champions League? And I don't have the right confidence. I know this is not the conversation, but it doesn't give me the right confidence to say we will win the Champions League because at some point, some of the players got bullied, in my opinion. I like the personality of the team. I like about Ronza, what they do every time when there's a tackle. You understand? Did you see celebrate? I love that passion. Ronzo Shale, save Gulenduza, they celebrate. I love that passion, Shane. But for me, I'm thinking Kaizer Chiefs. This is an experience of a lifetime, Sheikh, when I Shane, to be honest with you. Coming from Intwana Sekas, Intwana Senkambin. When I woke up in the morning, Shane, I went to a shopping center to get a couple of things. For me, Kaizer Chiefs is a big club. Today, I live here with so much respect for the club, Shane.
Yeah.
Normally, we go to the stadium here, you see what's happening in the stadium, but to see the environment, just so way, especially when they are doing well, Shane, it's an experience and a half, Shane. Economy as South Africa depends on Kaizer Chiefs. They are such a huge club to a point where it's traffic, Shane. It was unbelievable what I saw today in terms of his stadium. Credit to Kaizer Chiefs, credit to those fans, credit to our branch, credit to each and every single branch at Kaizer Chiefs that made it to Johannesburg, more especially people. Credit to our branch, Mamelodi Sundowns, that came to the stadium. This is a spectacle. This is a reference of what South African football should be. When you play beautiful football, this is what happens. You understand, Shane? But credit to the fans, credit to the clubs, both clubs, Shane.
Credit to them, because some of them traveled as far as Cape Town, far as Durban, far as Mpumalanga.
Yeah.
But Yazi, before I let you go, there was a big substitution. I will say big because I feel Uguti Namhlanje was his debut in the league, and that is Ukhuliso Mudau. How important is he for his Sundowns? Champions
League, Shane, Champions League. What I identified in Umrena is good box to box, but recovery can let him down sometimes. I don't know. Recovery run Khuliso. I think for me, when I think Khuliso Mudau, I'm thinking Champions League. Tebza again. When I'm looking at him, I'm thinking recovery runs in midfield. You need someone who sometimes also blocker Ibola even before it gets into the last line of defense. Utebza is good in a recovery as well. I'm thinking Champions League. This was a Champions League game, Shane. Something that we forgot to mention. It felt like a Champions League game. And you are going to need players like Utebza. You're going to need a player like Khuliso Mudau in terms of recovery. Remember, you don't have to play beautiful with Champions League at times. And sometimes, more especially playing away, you need to understand that you are going to suffer, Shane. Understand? You need to understand that you're going to suffer. So for me, players like Khuliso Mudau, players like Abumkwena, they're going to be very important. But also, we cannot run away from the fact that Abo Riva, for me, ever since he came back, he gives us a lot of comfort. Shane, Riva. Touch and move. Keep it simple. Deep diagonal ball. Show me a midfielder in the country. Show me, and please call me Shane if you're at all. Show me a midfielder in the country. Diagonal ball straight into feet. Effortless. Yes, maybe Junior was right. Those balls were too diagonal. Sometimes maybe Melahambe behind the defense, behind the center back. Agree, for sure. But for me, the pass Kamesola land in Kunzi pass. But to Riva first half in the first 15 minutes, where I think that Abu Reynas, maybe the run was too forward. Ipola Lise from behind. But for me, impressive performance in the first half. Mamelodi Sundowns, a questionable second half.
Well, that's it. Kaizer Chiefs won, losing their first game of the season of the Betway Premiership 2024-2025 season. Mamelodi Sundowns 2, Kaizer Chiefs 1. That's iDiskiTV.